Well, welcome back to another episode of Intermittent Nonsense. I'll probably take some time a little bit later this evening to play more Mass Effect Andromeda because, of course, I like that game and I really want to keep going on it. But I thought I would pause for a little bit and introduce you to a totally different game. This one is called The Video Game Machine. And so I actually first encountered this game back in 2018 or 2019. I'm not entirely sure. But at the time, it was being produced by Mad Scientist Games, a subsidiary of Stardock. And Stardock, if you aren't familiar with them, they make Sins of a Solar Empire, they make The Political Machine, and a whole bunch of other just sort of really, really great games, actually. Their bread and butter is strategy. They make a few other ones, too, that are sort of maybe more in the adventure genre. Really, really great games if you're into that kind of thing. I'm not so big on strategy myself, so Sins of a Solar Empire, I kind of give it a pass, things like that. Ashes of the Singularity is, I think, their most recent one in that vein. But they also have sort of this other side. Like I say, they make games like The Political Machine, which is, it's like a U.S. presidential election simulator, and there's all kinds of good fun that goes into that. Much more fun than the real elections, I'm sure. But one of their developers on that started working on this, the Video Game Machine. And like I say, 2018, 2019, I think the last alpha build that I ended up testing was released in 2019. And then, well, a whole bunch of things happened between now and 2019, didn't they? For the developer, Scott Zakowski, I think he's like one of the engine guys for Stardock. So he actually wound up getting pulled onto a bunch of other projects and supporting them. And at some point he wrote a book too about developing with the Unity game engine. That's coming out soon apparently. And the Video Game Machine kind of got put on pause. He would work on it in his spare time. And then eventually he actually spun off from Stardock, as you can see the logo in the lower corner there, Tyclecom. So now he's doing this entirely as an indie venture. And finally, after much anticipation on my part at any rate, he has released Beta 1 of the Video Game Machine. It's actually available on Steam. It's in early access on Steam right now. And this is the Steam build of the game. So the whole point about the Video Game Machine is that it's all about, well, good old retro games. Think like some of the earlier Mario games for the Nintendo or the Super Nintendo, or if you've ever had exposure to an Atari, some games from that era, or the original Zelda, right? The original Legend of Zelda, so things in that nature. Ultima 4 would be another keen example. We'll see an Ultima 4 inspired tile set in the mix here. Tea. Whiskey's later. But there's two modes right now. You can see there's also this story mode here. That's coming soon, as it says right there. Because, of course, as yet, some of the actual abilities to chain together a story in what you create with a Video Game Machine, those features are coming. So right now you have two options. You can play a game or make a game. We'll wind up doing both here. But let's maybe start with making a game. Alright, so right now you got three choices. You have platformer, you can see there. You've got runner, which is essentially just a platformer, except that I think with the platformer you're allowed to go back and forth. So more like a Super Mario 3, say. Super Mario Brothers 3. And the runner is more like, Super Mario Brothers 1, or right, so that you only go one way. You can't go back. And I don't know if it times you or not. I haven't actually built any runner games yet. And then in the middle of all that, you have the adventure, which is, again, that looks very, very much like Legend of Zelda or something similar. It plays very similar to Legend of Zelda. It's real time, there's no turn-based. And you can see there's a few different tile sets. So for the purposes of this demo, I figure we can make a adventure game. Why not? So next thing, hey, it's a game cartridge. Well, your game cartridge needs something on it. You can see we got a few options here. Hermit Warlock. Ooh. Yeah, all right, we'll do Hermit Warlock. Okay. I think picking that also determines the shape of your hero. And so we'll give it a very simple... I had a thing that I was going to... Haha. It's a dumb name. Whatever. Now it's even dumber. Okay. And there's a little checkbox here at the bottom. Auto-generate levels. For the purposes of this demo, we'll go with auto-generate levels. If you don't check this, it'll just give you a flat world to build with. But sometimes it helps when you're trying to, actually build something. Sometimes there's a bit of a... Sometimes actually like having that initial like surge of creativity, like how do I want to lay this out? Sometimes that's a big steep hill, sometimes a cliff. And so auto-generating a few levels for yourself can kind of help get you over that hump to actually have something to work with. So we're going to hit play. Now, whether you actually choose to play a game or to design a game, everything starts the same way in the video game machine. You always start in play mode. And so, here we go. Hermitwitch. Press the spacebar, made using the video game machine. So, press the spacebar, and here you are. You're in the game. And, okay, so... I'm going to knock my desktop audio down just because I realize that I've probably been talking over some really loud game audio. I'm not entirely sure if that's the case, but whatever. I'm going to go with it. So, you can see I got my Hermit Warlock here, and I've got this world to run around in, and it's been pre-populated. Okay, so let's explore just for a minute, right? So what do we got here? We've got some mountain cliffs. There's a waterfall. Okay, the water seems to be impassable. We've got like this short grass here. We've got longer grass, trees, forests, these little fences. Let's wander out over here. What do we... Hey, cool. I don't have a weapon, so let's run away and see if we can... Oh, great. Somewhere here there's a weapon, right? Somewhere? Maybe? Ah! Y'all saw that, right? Cool. Let's wander up here. A sword. Well. Cool. Okay, I have a sword now. That works. Except that I've... Oh, okay. I guess I've just... Oh, boy. Oh, no, there we go. I probably should have pushed that the other way, shouldn't I have? Anyways, onward. So, you can see other things here. Okay, so you can destroy the thorns, and that's fine. I guess I could keep wandering down the path here. Hey, look, there's a little slimy thing. Is he crying? I'm not sure. Well, okay. Oh. So I found the edge of the level, and now I've transitioned off into the snowfield, whatever that is. Okay, so enough fun for now. You notice in the upper left corner there it says Tab, Edit Game. It's a little bit hard to read behind the trees, but we're going to hit it anyways. So Tab kicks you out of the gameplay mode and kicks you into the editing mode. And like here you got all kinds of fun stuff. So for example, one, you have your levels. Okay, so like I seem to be in level 2 right now. Like level 1 was where we started. Level 2 looks like level 3 is some kind of lava level. Cool. Also, you can have a dungeon associated with each level. So like I think when we went into that little secret cave where we found the sword, that might have been a dungeon, for example. Maybe, I'm not sure. Um, and so let's see here. Whoops. I don't know what I did there. E. Anyways, so it looks like, well, I got a few things here. For one, you can see here we got the arrows on the side here. That's where we transition back to, and then we got the gate here that you transition out to the other area. And then when you transition in, here's where you start, starting location. You got some kind of gizmo here, a pushable tile. Okay, cool. So you can push that in some direction. I wonder if maybe you have to like come at it from the top. Maybe. Looks like you got to find your way around there, and then you can like chop your way through the trees or something, and then you got some kind of thing here. Cool. Okay, so, and you can see we can pan around, and like you notice these different points where like it's highlighted differently, right? So the dark gray here and the light gray here. So this is one of those like this is this is the active view, and then if you hit the boundary of the view, it doesn't take you out of the world, it just kicks you over to the next screen. You saw it making the transitions back and forth there. Spawn points for those funny blobby monster things, so on and so forth. And the different kinds of tiles that you have available to you here. You've got the snow pathway, that's this bit here. Each tile set has the same basic stuff, right? You got a pathway, you got stairs, like that. Fencing, we saw fencing, there's some just over here. Trees, bushes, right there. Water, we saw that in another screen here, just right there. Bridges can go over the water, obviously. Mountainsides, that's these things. Actually, the ice mountainsides need a little bit of work. They don't always line up beautifully, unlike in the grassland world. Mountaintop, right? So that's the top part here. And a bunch of different tile sets to choose from. So you got grasslands, desert, snowfield, ooh, ancient temple, a gold cave, spooky dungeon, doom mountain, lovely. Neon corridors, if you're looking for that Pac-Man kind of vibe, maybe Tron. Haunted woods, moon, royal ship, superpower dungeon, mushroom march, simple grasslands as distinct from grasslands, so simpler graphics basically. And then olden adventure realm. So if you're watching from here, if you're familiar at all with, well, let's go back to level 1. It's all portable. So you can flip back and forth between the tile sets, and it doesn't really hurt you any. So like I can just flip this to be the olden adventure realm, and hey, look, there it is. Ye olden adventure realm. Cool. But I think maybe, so like, or we'll flip it here to simple grasslands. Done. Now it looks like this. Again, sort of more Zelda-like. Or desert. Ooh, cactuses. The colors, the colors. Okay, back to grasslands. Okay. Other little things that you can do. Somewhere in here, I'm trying to remember. There's one other little feature that you can enable here that's not hard. We'll have to look at some of what all these are. Oh, right. Haha. If you want to, you can enable this effect that makes it look like you're actually playing on an old CRT monitor. So it's got like the curvature and the if you want to, you can enable that just to get like the maximum retro feel. If you want to do that. Okay, so. And anyways, so in addition to being able to build with different tile types, of course you have plenty of enemies that you can place. We've been seeing the green slime balls. There's bats. There's steam. Can't actually destroy steam. So earthworm. Snowballs. Comets. Some of these work better in platformers versus in an adventure game, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. If you're here to make your own game, then you're here to make your own game. You can have generic skeleton monster things. You can have red lizards and octopokes and more rolling enemies and spiky enemies and slime balls. And if you want to make a Dune game, you have sandworms, imps, eyeballs, slime balls, and you can see like their health goes up way a lot. Legendary. Skeleton octopus. Terrifying. Obviously, there's also items the player can find. You saw me find a sword a little bit earlier. There's various different swords that you can throw the way of your hero. Also, there's bows. Let's just put a bow in the game and actually... What? Oh, right. Make sure you have your cursor set correctly, because otherwise you're going to be painting a lot of items when you... so you can I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 by 5 is the largest it goes to. Cool. Now we have a bow. Oh dear. Yay, coins for me! Can wander up. At least I don't think I have any ammo for my bow. Alright, so back to editing. So that's how bows work. And you can see there's other stuff that you can throw the player's way. Wizard staff. Acorn cannon. Bullet damage 0 to 0. Don't know about that. And we're just going to ignore Cortana. Okay, props. Other stuff that you can throw into the level. So you can plant some flowers. It's a big flower. Can have a switch. The waterfall. More trees. This is where you'll find the caves, of course. Bullseye trigger, so you gotta hit it with a weapon. Smaller trees. You can have some variety in your forest at any rate. Cottages and dungeons and other stuff. There's those pushable blocks. Vines. Notice that these ones can't be destroyed, whereas these ones can. These ones don't hurt you, these ones do. And gizmos. So gizmos are basically how you create interactive elements or just different effects in the game. So the starting location obviously defines, okay, this is where my player starts. Finish line, that basically denotes, oh, hey, you've finished the level. That's not so useful necessarily in an adventure type game, I guess, except maybe if you were trying to put have a finish line just for the game, literally. I guess that's what it's called, right? So yeah, if you're supposed to adventure through this whole land and then at the end, okay, cool, you got to the finish line. Great, good job. Battled your way through hordes of monsters and now you're at the end. There's supposed to be more of a story mode coming along. Right now it's fairly simplistic, but this would be more useful for the runner or the platformer. Music, so triggers a music change, useful if you wanted to, make sure that if someone entered a cave or something, oh, hey, now we have cave music playing. A hidden area. We should actually wander around and see what that hidden area would be like. Oh, okay. Trigger link. Cool. So this one is like use this one to like set off any other things in the area, whatever they might be. Pushable tiles. Okay. Swappable tiles. So if you want to create little effects of like a bridge rising out of water, things like that. Doorway, so this will teleport the player. Have to hit something with a weapon. And then you can move stuff around if you need to. Floor switches. Ooh, can set for letterbox mode or camera mode. Let's see. So dialogue. You can have an actual like dialogue gizmo, or you can have different NPCs. Old man, bard, fortune teller, space crew, friendly rabbit. Nice. And then of course the eraser for getting rid of things if you should need. And of course you have plenty of music to choose from. Okay. So you put that all together and you have the video game machine. I think I've hit another area boundary. Can't get out that way. Hmm. I don't remember seeing those anywhere, so maybe we need to just find something a little bit heftier to actually bust through. Ooh. I'm gonna have to let Scott know about that. Interesting little repaint error there on the grass tile. So I just want to wander around here and see how those hidden tiles work because, you know. Oh, okay. So yeah, that makes them destroyable versus these ones here that are not. Oh, but this should be movable now. Yeah. Then you can kind of get into the hidden area. Oh, and so designating them as hidden means I can walk behind them. That's kind of neat. Sort of create the effect of walking behind trees. Ha! Ooh, a more betterer weapon. I wonder if... that's what I need in the Doomy Mountain thing. I imagine at some point you're going to be able to like add, I don't know, merchants or something so you can actually do something with the coins other than just accrue points. I could be wrong in that, but oh yeah, I'm going to have to ping Scott about this because yeah, look now again the grass has repainted itself as snow. It should be green. It is not green. That's okay. Let's keep going. Running, running, running. Up, 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 up. And now it's a less threatening Doom Mountain because the grass has. Hmm. Still not, huh? Well, doesn't seem to be movable. Well, let's take a look. Because the other nice thing is you can just pop yourself into edit mode and actually view a look at. Okay, yeah. Fire, of course. The trick is, where do you find a fire weapon? It's probably something out in the snow area that has fire. There. So you can use this both ways. You can just help yourself play the game, and you can also use it to actually like make a game. We should have gone that way, or maybe this way. Probably this way. Oh yeah, there's a staff. Okay. Anyways, we'll add a new level. Just to sort of quickly look at like how you go about the process of just quickly building a little bit of a level. So like I think for the purposes of this, I'm gonna just like, whoops, that's too big. That's better. I can draw a little faster that way at any rate. I may wind up changing some of this.